blind spots. I know it can feel like kind of an unsexy subject, even a really difficult subject, but when you learn more about them and how they're a very, very normal aspect of human consciousness, you will feel so much better. And most importantly, you'll be able to start shifting them in your own life. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. So blind spots they're the aspect of our consciousness, of the things that we repeat in our lives that our mind wants to protect us from seeing the most. They're like the kryptonite in our mind. They're like the things that we judge the most in others. So the way that you can actually start to become more aware of your own blind spots is just to start to connect to what's really, really triggering for you about other people. When we are looking at blind spots in others, they're so much easier to spot in other people, right? So I'm sure that you can start to look at your friends and family, and especially certain people have things that they do over and over that they're really upset when other people do it. They get really, really emotionally fired up when it happens from another person, but they don't realize that they actually do some of those things themselves. Or they're just attracting that and they don't realize why they're attracting it. So people who, you can see like the red flags in your friend's relationship from the start, but she never can, right? And then she always ends up dating this certain kind of person. And those are her blind spots. But if you can see somebody else's, that means you have your own. It cultivates this self-awareness and this observing that I talk about in another video. You can go check that out, that 4 tips to cultivate greater self-awareness. That's going to be really helpful here. But when you're looking at blind spots specifically, it's the things that you find the most triggering in other people. It's either you're attracting that person into your life or that pattern, that behavior, because you don't realize that you're actually doing something to set up those things from coming into your life, or you actually do that same thing and your ego really, really wants to protect you from seeing that you actually do that. So you get very, very judgmental or very upset when somebody else does it. But if you are upset, there's a chance you're either doing something unconsciously to call it in, or you do that same thing, or both. So sometimes it's very frustrating, especially when we have unresolved parent issues, or we were hurt by a parent or a caregiver or even a sibling or family member in our lives, and the person that we wanted to not become the most, or have, maybe we admire them in certain ways, but there's certain ways that they do things, like quick to anger, and they take out their anger on other people. And then as you get older, you realize, oh my God, I'm like exactly like that. And it's really difficult to face, right? But these blind spots can be some of the most relationship shifting things that you can possibly do, because they're the most painful. So oftentimes the most pent up emotion, or things that we're actually unconsciously giving a massive amount of energy to without realizing it, are the most worth paying attention to, because when you face them, when you actually get to the place where you're committed to facing that and changing it, it can radically change your life. So blind spots are definitely that thing that can have a huge, huge effect on your overall life and health and connection of your relationships. So my tips are to stay committed to it, to stay committed. Your consciousness isn't going to rip everything open at once. That would actually make you go crazy. So it filters things and it breaks things down step by step so that they're sustainable. So if you know that you have blind spots, or you're curious about your own blind spots, just be committed and know that one day you will get there. But start slowly, start one at a time. One relationship at a time, one situation at a time. When you're looking for your blind spots, just look at what's going to be most beneficial for you to know right now in your life, and just stay committed, stay open. Check out those self-awareness tips in order to open up to greater understanding of yourself, and know that you can get there. And a few mantras that you can start to call into your life is saying things to yourself, like when you're driving, or when you're getting ready in the morning, or when you have some time to yourself, or even when you get triggered by something or someone. Say, to yourself, I am willing to change. I am willing to change. I am willing to see what my mind has been protecting me from. I trust the process of life. Healthier and happier relationships are available to me now. I am willing to see. I am willing to see my blind spots. I am willing to see what I've been hiding from myself. I'm willing to see things in myself that are difficult to see. I am willing to change. You can close your eyes and take some deep breaths. I am willing to change and mean it. I am willing to change for the better. And just start from there and stay the course and know that you will get there. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel and share this video with anybody who you know is on a path of self-growth or wants to cultivate happier and healthier relationship patterns. And know that I am sending you massive love.